Hello, welcome back to this is episode 10 of A Night to Remember. Hopefully this party remains until the end, but in the meantime they have about a week of time off before they get their next mission from Alex. Is there anything you guys want to do in said week off?
Read.
Fair enough. The most
I
traumatic
need to
answer.
figure out what I'm doing with my goals.
Yeah.
Yes. What are you doing with
What
said
are
I
goals?
need to bond the owl, and then we need to deal with. Well, I don't know to deal with, but we need Aubrey to either be bound to someone else or something.
Yes. Do you guys want
So
to
what do we
discuss
wanna
that
do
in
there?
character? I'm assuming you're not going to invite the.
Yeah, we discussed this.
I'm assuming
character.
you're not. I'm assuming you're not inviting the newbie Tremere around since they are very new to the party, and you probably don't
No.
trust them. I'm assuming, yeah. Or the coterie, I should say. All right. And are you involving Aubrey in said discussions, or just amongst yourselves?
Well, I'll start talking just amongst ourselves first.
Yeah.
Wait. So, how much info do we actually know?
About what?
What do you mean?
Yeah, what would we know about ghouls as a
Yeah,
sort of
and
background?
ghoul and blood bonds and whatever. Because, what even happens to Aubrey if we do decide to ditch her?
If you straight out ditch her,
Yeah, those are a lot of things that could
she
happen.
obviously becomes an unbound ghoul, which will become a potential masquerade breach. On top of that, you're not actually. No one's actually ever asked her how old she is because
He has a lot of insider info.
she'll rapidly start aging until she reaches her actual age. Because you don't know how long she was a ghoul before you ghouled her. Yeah. And obviously she's still addicted to the VtM. So you know she'll be wanting to get more VtM.
Is this stuff that we would all know as a background, or is this stuff that we would have to roll to know?
I would say.
Yeah, that's what we're asking currently.
Yeah, this is what you currently know. You know that. Yeah, you know she. If you unbound her, she'll become a masquerade.
I feel like Alex
breach.
would have given us some info.
Yeah. Obviously. Alex obviously told you that somebody needed to blood bond her when you found her, just because she would be a loose end. Yeah, and if you let her go, that's a breach. So, not good. You obviously know she is addicted to VtM, so she'll probably.
We can't let her go, but we also need transport.
Yeah, that too.
Sorry, communication.
Yeah. Obviously I would say that like when you bloodbound the owl, you sort of felt some form of strain, and you realize that you are losing your connection to.
We haven't finished bonding the owl yet. I did it once.
Yeah. So we'll say that you're sort of.
Because you go to like 3 nights, I think it is.
Yeah. So I'll say as you like do the second night, you sort of feel something on a spiritual level. That's sort of like a disconnection between both of them. Like it's I'll just say it's like a spiritual connection. You feel straining.
There's some kind of alert that I sense just passively almost.
Yeah.
Like a gut feeling, but really bad.
Yeah.
So I'll pretty much I would call Sandy and Salim into a room just for a chat.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you two would both come. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in character, so I'll be like, all right, so I can just confirm this with Alex, but bonding with the owl, to sort out our communication problem, that's gonna unbind Aubrey. I simply can't handle 2 ghouls, is the short story. Do either one of you want to talk to her about maybe binding to her, to one of you two? We can't have a masquerade breach or loose end, of course.
I think we should ask her what she wants.
Yeah, what does she want?
Yeah, what does she want?
If one of you two are willing, I'm happy to have her come in and we'll just have that chat with her directly. She didn't have much of a choice binding with me, to be honest. Salim is a long story, but we couldn't have loose ends, so she ended up as my ghoul. Now I guess she has that choice on what she wants to do, but she also can't not bind to someone. She must be bound as a ghoul. Plus, you know, she might die not being bound. Depends on how old she is and all that.
I don't say anything, but I have this kind of like strained smile on my face. You know, one of those smiles that's like not really happy about this.
Like I don't know. Like I would ask. Like I think we should ask her first.
All right.
Yep. So you.
So I'll go get Aubrey and bring her in.
Yeah. She just sort of comes and goes.
I'll just be like, hey Aubrey, we need to have a chat.
Yeah. She goes. Oh yeah, sure thing. And then I guess she comes into the room, sees you all there, and she's like, what's this about? And she's sort of looking at you all warily.
There's a story to explain first. So you know we're in the technology blackout here.
Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah, she was there.
Yeah, she was there.
So I'm just like bringing her up to speed.
Yeah, you
No,
just
like,
say the same thing.
she was
With-
there when we were told.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
knows
so
about that. So you just
With
tell her
the
about
technology,
that. There you
yeah.
go.
So
Go on.
I told her about the outside. I'll be like, with the technology blackout, we need some form of communication. At the end of the day, we have to be able to communicate with each other. As Gangrel, I can bind to animals and ghoulify them. Having a carrier pigeon of sorts is the idea of the solution that we've come up with. However, for me to ghoulify a Gangrel would unbind you.
So you're going to
So we need to
sacrifice
figure
me
out-
for a bird.
No. We're looking to see what options we can explore.
Right.
You didn't have much of a choice to be bound to me. Now you have a choice on what we might want to do next.
Right, well,
I propose, you willing of course, discussing the concept of being bound to Salim or Sandy here. Your choice.
and she'll look at each of you and it's like, and you two are also okay with
I'm
this,
happy
I'm
for you
guessing?
guys just to have a chat.
Well, what did we just cut off there?
Oh, sorry, did I? So she says, she looks at both of you two and goes, and you two are also agreeing to this, I'm guessing?
Agree is a
Well,
strong term.
no, not really. It was like
We need to have the conversation, it's not an easy conversation.
that's why we're having the conversation now. We're trying to figure out what do you want? Because
Well,
to me, you're like
I preferably don't...
family.
Oh, that's nice. But, I preferably don't want to age 40 years over the course of the next month, so... I would very much like to remain
Understandable.
in the current situation. But obviously that seems to be not the case. No offense, Sandy, but I sort of like my conversations I've had with Salim, so if I have to go with either, I'd go with him.
Yeah.
No offense, as I said, but...
Makes sense.
I take
Yeah,
I-
it makes sense.
I take a sort of
Like,
a very deep breath. Like that's what you want. Hmm.
What do you
Okay.
want, Salim?
I don't want her to die. I don't want her to be another person caught in the crossfire because we're monsters.
Understandable.
I also don't really. I don't want a slave.
How much of this do you say?
I think she's
I
saying it
think
out
he
loud.
would say
I mean,
all of
he's saying
it
out loud.
except like the last sentence. I think he'd start the I want and then realize that would be a bad thing to say and just stop. He. I. Hmm. Let me
How about this?
Let me talk to her alone.
I was just gonna suggest something. Sandy, let's give them some space. So yeah, we'll leave. You guys can have a one-on-one private chat.
Yep.
Feel free to jump into the other channel if you guys want to really get into.
Oh yeah, well we can do that. Yeah, we'll jump over to the Misc channel.
Alright.
Oh yeah, you're here. Okay. Connecting, still connecting. Takes its time. And oh yeah, there we go. Hello, can you hear me?
Face.
Hello, can you hear me? Oh,
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. I can,
Cool.
I started sort of like just. I might have missed some of what you said. Sorry.
I didn't say anything. I was just saying, hey, are you there? I because I couldn't hear you, but I could see you there. So.
Oh, okay. So what I said was I think that once they've left the room, Salim would sort of pace for a little bit and scrub his hands over his face. And then he would take a deep breath, which is entirely for effect.
Yes.
And just say the problem is I want to respect what you want, but I don't want a slave. And if I do this to you and you don't like it, you won't have the capacity to say no anymore.
Right, I get what you mean. Well, if you're not comfortable with it, then you know, you don't have to either.
But if you don't trust Sandy, then that's
It's not that I don't necessarily trust
also
him, it's
a
just
problem
that
because
you're the only person who's really, well, you're the only kindred who's actually really been, well, I guess, treated me like a person more so than a tool, so that's nice.
you are a person. We are not people.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but... But then, of course, it takes two to tango in this situation, I guess. So if you're not happy with it either,
I think what I would want, the others would see as a problem. And you don't deserve to be caught up in that. From the sound of things, you're going to be anyway, and that's...
that's what, sorry? I can't hear you.
Oh, he just like just noise of frustration, basically. You what you want could matter. Does matter. I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm. Well, she'll just sort of sit down and she just sort of lets you sort of make a decision, I guess.
I think Salim is sort of waiting on some of her thought process, I guess. I think if he kept talking to her about this, would he because the impression I'm getting as a player is the way Aubrey's coming at this is that Salim might be first choice, but she's not that. She basically just wants to stay a ghoul and doesn't really have any idea of what being an unbound ghoul would be like.
No, she doesn't
And
really
so
know.
she is kind of. So she's. The impression I'm getting is that her thought process is Salim might be first choice, but she's not upset with the idea.
Oh, yes, that's pretty much.
Sandy.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate. Your first choice, but that's
Okay.
more so because you've
So
actually had more conversations directly with her than Sandy, but she doesn't mind Sandy at all. So if you say no, she'll just go,
okay,
oh well.
so yeah, so I think in that case he would say no because that's the kind of impression he's getting of things. But
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's how it's going to pan out.
She just goes, oh well, that's no problem. I understand. It's a lot of responsibility. So yeah, and we'll jump over to the other chat, I guess. Again, and then we'll continue the conversation with them. Ooh.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Already back.
Oh, that was quick.
So what happened?
Okay, so
So did he do it?
basically they both come out the room and she goes,
Describe it to us.
yeah. So, Sandy comes out first and she just goes, no, Sandy comes out first. Aubrey comes out first and she just looks at Sandy and she goes, Salim said no. And this is probably like,
Wait, what do you mean?
I'd say like 15 or so minutes of them just sort of being in there. It's a. I won't get into what Salim said, but yeah, he's not comfortable with it, so. So I guess that leaves you, Sandy.
Alright. Okay. So you.
All right, now you guys have a one-on-one.
Depends.
Like, if you want a one-on-one?
What you want,
Because
Sandy?
I'm thinking right now, feel like, you'll be part of our group.
I mean, already
And-
part of your group anyway.
Since you want to stay, like, we kind of don't want to. Well, I don't want to lose any part of our group. That's kind of like part of the character kind of thing. All right.
Yeah.
So I don't want to lose anyone. So I'm willing to do it if you're willing to do it. That's
Will do. Do we want to get some privacy, or I'd prefer to not do it, with all these eyes on us.
I'm actually
Alright.
just thinking, can I just like willingly break the blood bond?
yes.
Yes, you
It's just
can.
basically you don't feed the blood.
But it's like a period of time. That's
Yeah.
not going
Yeah.
to instantly happen.
No.
Yeah,
It takes a couple
like
months.
few
I think.
months.
Alright.
It takes a few months, I think. Since
Mortal
if you,
who drinks it kills the
like-
ghoul.
depends on your blood bond level, which is
Yeah.
like 6 if you've been feeding a lot. But it's been a month only, so I don't know how much have we been feeding.
I'd assume
That's
like
gonna
the bare minimum.
It's gonna be
Yeah, I'm just reading through the page now.
yeah. Because I've been looking through it, and it's like, yeah, it takes a
Oh.
while for a bloodborne to.
I forgot to
Ah,
have
here
it.
it is. If the regent, so that would be me in this case, bonds another thrall above their blood limit potency limit, their oldest bond fades over the course of a week.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the week.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so it would be like at the end of this week the bond phase, and I'm guessing as the regent, and as the ghoul, Aubrey would know as well when their bond.
Basically,
Excuse me,
yeah.
sorry, breaks.
And your highest thing was presence, is that right? I'm assuming. Kit?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So
Unless you want to spend a whole ton more XP.
I can't. Well, I can't get my salary to the next level
Yeah, yeah.
because I just got it up using 10. It's like I need
Mhm.
like 6 more points to get a nice
Yeah.
one, which is kind of.
Cool. So, if that decision's made, it's just a waiting game now for that bond to break, and then to make the new one before she ages.
So
Yeah.
meta game wise,
Yes.
I'm gonna ask this to you now for now. Since by the end of this, what you call it, session, I'll have 9 experience.
Yes.
Can I use that 9 experience to get wedding new level 3 for Aubrey?
To get what, level 3?
What level 3?
Sorry, I
Wedding
missed.
new.
You want to get your celerity up, did you?
No. I will get retinue level 3 advantage.
I can't actually hear. Sorry, I can't actually understand what you're saying.
Retinue. What's
Yeah.
the page of the?
It's
Hang
like
on.
really far.
Oh, the retinue advantage, right? Oh, sorry,
Is that a
I.
rotary thing or just?
No,
discipline thing?
retinue is a it's a
Yeah.
background. Sorry, I get what you're saying now. Yeah. So you want to basically upgrade her.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that. She's currently level 2, so you'll do that. You could, make her a level 3. So she become a deadly.
Aubrey goes on an intensive week-long training course.
Yeah, basically.
It's cute. Eye of the tiger. We got this.
I know.
Yeah. You're basically like, all
She
right,
got the phrase
it's a
of
one.
punching bags.
Yeah, you're like, it's a 1 week training course, and then she comes out even more powerful. That's pretty funny. I
Yeah.
think. Okay, cool. And presence. So hang on.
Comes out, she's convinced of blood.
Yeah. Presence. I just want to see. Powers. Oh, hang on.
Oh
It's
yeah.
cool.
So, she's 2 dog, retainer, a ghoul, a family servant, a human lover, or a dominated thrall. You can give them a backstory, build them in as an average mortal, or as a ghoul with no advantages. Or 3 dots, which is what Kit's after. A retainer, competent enough to act independently and make lesser problems go away.
Yeah.
They are likely a ghoul with traits equivalent to gifted mortals, on top of their supernatural powers.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think I'm trying to remember. Did she have a character sheet?
Yes, I made a character sheet for her.
I think
She's
what's
an
planning.
Yeah, I made one anyway, so So you want to upgrade her. That would be upgrade because she's an average mortal at the moment, so...
But yeah, now she'll become a gifted somehow.
Yeah, so I'll level her up in between sessions, but right now she'll gain presence. And did you want her to have aura? I'm guessing aura or daunt as her level 1 power.
Or
Or
it's the one I should have.
yeah.
It specifically says that it's the one that you have.
Oh, okay, yeah. So she, and because yeah, I think she actually keeps. Oh.
Which is kind of like useless, I think. I'm like, wait, that does sound like a interesting ability.
What or?
What does she gain?
Or
Plus manipulation plus
Yeah,
presence.
it's one of those like ones that just does passive advantages through things.
yeah, so I'm like depends how if she'll be like. Then
I mean, I could give her some
stat-wise she'll be
social.
built up.
I can give her some social skills. Obviously after session. So yeah. Add the presence rank to any skill involving persuasion or performance, as well as other cosmetic skills at Dojo's discretion. Yeah. Anyone aware they have been manipulated can attempt to resist. Alright, yep, that's fine.
So she would just be really effective in the mortal realm for us.
Yes.
Is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Basically, we now have a secretary.
And because
one.
the blood
Oh, so
since
it's presence or
yeah.
she just passively gets bonuses.
yeah. So you
Because
so
she would have my one, which was freaking.
Yep. At the eyes of the beast.
She would
actually
have my level 1 protein power, which is see in the dark.
yeah, and she keeps
Oh, yeah.
it.
So she loses that. And
No, she doesn't lose it. She
Really?
keeps
Wow,
it.
that's cool.
Wait, she keeps it?
Yeah. Ghouls keep
Yeah,
any
If she can
disciplines
then
they know.
intimidate mortals even better because
There's in the lore there's ghouls
that's
who literally
cool.
act as vampire hunters, and they're trying to collect as many disciplines as possible. And they do it. They just go around just
that
yeah.
makes a whole
killing.
lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
That's why unbound ghouls are such a problem, because they're still addicted to the Vitae, but they'll run around just drinking anyone's Vitae. And if you're a vampire's asleep, they can just end up with just a whole slew of powers.
That's
Kind of scary.
awesome. Yeah.
And also a really interesting plotline if you ever wanted to play a ghoul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excuse us while we just go drain
Yeah,
the blood
it's
of the
pretty
vampires
interesting.
in the
These
day.
There's a ghoul to a Methuselah in the
I'm
story.
playing too.
Yeah, there's a ghoul who's a Methuselah in the story, and they're often mistaken for an elder vampire because of how powerful they are. Because they actually start leveling up their disciplines. And then Cain in the story also has a ghoul who is on par with one of the antediluvians. And they're a
Cain has a
fascinating.
ghoul, that is terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and they both of them just go around acting as like vampire hunters, like for the one for the Methuselah just basically goes around hunting down their Methuselah's enemies, and then they just literally eat them in their day sleep. It's pretty nuts.
Also, like, the fact that there's another ghoul who's on part of Antediluvian,
Yeah.
that means they've got the 10th point in a discipline, which
Yes.
is literally just called plot point, like
Yeah.
plot power.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
wait, that's possible?
Yeah, so the 10th point in discipline literally just says this point in the discipline does whatever it needs to for the story.
Yeah.
The storyteller makes it do whatever it needs to do. Then
Yeah.
it just happens.
Yeah.
Love a rule book that's honest like that.
Yeah.
It's not in the core rulebook, it's in one
No.
of the other ones.
Yeah,
which
it's
goes
in
from
the
6
older
to 10
editions, yeah.
discipline points.
Because
Yeah.
V5 doesn't have advanced disciplines yet.
Yeah.
So once they get there, because all advanced disciplines are regarded
Yeah,
as
okay.
ridiculously hard to get. But yeah, that's pretty much just on par with. It's pretty much only like Methuselah's
I didn't
like,
know,
like
that
Elder.
high. Yeah, elders will generally have like a 7 discipline somewhere. Methuselah's will have like a couple disciplines in the advanced range, and they'll probably have a few out-of-clan ones. And then Antediluvians regarded as having a 10 in something. Cain just has a 10 in everything, and he can make disciplines up. It's just funny, but yeah. It's pretty interesting when you start reading
Kane's
more.
entire stat block this isn't a stat block, this is just the DM.
Yeah, it says he actually has a stat sheet,
Kane
and it
does what
says
the DM
it has a
wants to.
bunch of things on it. Just says doesn't matter, you lose, you're fucked and stuff on it. It's pretty funny. They actually released a stat block for him, and that's all it says. It's just things like, yeah, you lose, don't even try it. He also has like an aura. Here's a couple of like the biblical curses that Cain got. Like he has the whole sevenfold retaliation stuff. Anybody hits them, any damage they do is reflected sevenfold upon them. He has the whole what was it? So he's got the sevenfold retaliation. Was it? What, I'm trying to remember what the other curse. Everything in like an area around him.
You on the session,
yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a lot of things. So anyway, let's get back on the session. Yeah. So Sandy and Aubrey are going to be spending a week-long training montage, and so the rest of you, what are you going to do during the week while they're doing a training session?
So I have two things. The first thing is that Salim would want to go up to see the Nosferatu basically as quickly as he could.
All right. And you want to do that by yourself, or are you going to tell them that you're going up to see the Nosferatu?
I don't think he'd be that bothered about doing it by himself, as long as the Tremere weren't coming along as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, first off, you have no idea where the Nosferatu are.
Yeah. So I guess he'd start off by asking Eldon or Sandy if they know where they are.
No, but I have eyes in the sky if you need help finding them.
Or we just ask Alex.
I think they're Nosferatu. I'm not sure eyes in the sky will help.
We can just
ask Alice then. Alex probably know.
Alex or Alex's assistant, whatever her name was.
Myra.
Let's ask the assistant. I think bothering the sheriff about this is a bit much.
Alright, time to use the owl.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, we're still at home. We don't have. You can't just go talk to them.
Yeah, you're just going down the road. Let's just talk to Alex. So you show up to Alex's place, and as you approach it, you see these are really nice hot rods sitting in the driveway.
I'll be really distracted.
Yeah, you're. Oh yeah. What's your bane? What's your compulsions? Your bane's severity. Sorry, it's severity 1, isn't it? I'm trying to remember the rules for the Tremere, because yes, you'll be having to do a roll to see if you're transfixed. And people say the Tremere bane. People say the Tremere bane's not a real bane. Oh, you don't even have it in your character sheet. I'm gonna have to find it.
Looks like I just got distracted.
Isn't it?
What? Toreador, Bane. Sorry, yeah, Toreador, sorry. Then the blood takes strange forms, it's not beauty so intensely, blah blah blah. Okay.
They desire beauty so intensely they suffer in its absence. What a drama queen.
Detail in the compulsion.
It's called atmosphere.
Yeah. Okay. So you're just transfixed as soon as you see the the $500,000 car sitting in the driveway. You instantly just go up and go, ooh, and you start goggling at it.
My goodness, Kit, you could just start suffering so many penalties just because you're on a place you don't think is pretty. While your character finds itself in less than beautiful surroundings, lose the equivalent of the main severity and dice pools to use disciplines. Ew.
And I'm taking him with me to the Nosferatu. Aren't I kind?
To be honest, Sandy's whole thing is he loves cars, so...
Are you sure you don't want to take the gangrel?
Yeah.
Gangrel's fine. Anyway, but, so the Toreador's stuck outside. And then, so you, I guess, the other two of you go upstairs. And
Yeah.
I'm guessing you knock on the door.
Talk to Alex while
Yeah.
he lowers the car.
Yeah. You start knocking on the door, and Alex opens it, and he sort of has like a slightly worried expression on his face as soon as he sees you're there, and he goes to say something, and then a really fat man pushes him aside, and he goes, "Ah, darling, I've been waiting to meet you." And Alex sort of steps off the side. He's like, "Ah, fuck." And he comes up to you, Salim. He just grabs your hand, and he just goes down and kisses it. And he goes, "I'm your primogen."
Oh gosh.
I have no idea what just happened.
I freeze and I try to keep my mouth shut
Yes.
because I don't really trust what I'm gonna say to
Yeah.
this kindred.
Yeah.
I think the most I would manage is this very, like, kind of quiet and strained salam. Just
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. He goes,
Oh,
don't worry.
You should have said we had guests.
He sort of sighing in the background. He goes, yeah. He sort of just gives you like a signal, just like no point even trying. And he goes, "My name is Albus Bonobot." Albert. Sorry, I'm gonna say his name normally, not in his accent.
Yes.
My name is Albert. I am the primogen of the other, here for all the numerous clans not represented in the other primogen by the other primogens. And that means, darling, that you're part of my charge.
Oh,
And Alex sort of
I
comes up behind him and goes, "He was
actually
just
look
leaving." And he's like,
visibly more relaxed. I look visibly more relaxed when he says other rather than my clan name.
"All right, yeah." Yeah. Yeah. So he's like, "Yeah." Anyway, so if you have any issues, do please come to me. And then Alex is just like pushing him, and he's just pushing him down the stairs, and he's just like sort of yelling out a bunch of pleasantries to you, and then he just sort of forces him back into his car.
Yeah.
And then he just grabs the Toreador, and he's just like pulls him back, and he's just like, "Bye." He's just like waving at him to like goodbye, and he's just like, yeah, pulls Sandy back. And he pulls you all upstairs, and he just goes inside. Yeah.
Well, he's an experience.
So who's up for a heist?
Sandy wants the car.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust. I don't really like that guy. He's well, first off, he's a known diabler, so I wouldn't. He is super friendly, yes.
Yeah.
But it's, well, I wouldn't say it's a front. I'll just say he's unhinged, to say the least. He his bloodline is unique.
No.
and it's more unique, but given the fact that he's he's a he. The rest of his bloodline, they sort of had a little. All the women decided to kill all the men, and when they came to kill him, he sort of killed and ate them in return. So he's not very popular, but he's
Oh, scary. Look,
What you're saying is be nice, but be cautious.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He is still on the Primogen Council, and that was a few years back, but it's still best to avoid him if you can.
Good to know.
Oh,
So
and don't let him.
nothing's on fire.
And don't let him quickly. Don't let him sing around you as well. He loves to sing, and he's one of the sons of Discord, so just don't listen to him sing if you can as well.
Good to know.
Where would we be able to find the Nosferatu?
Oh, the same place you find the Gangrel, they sort of hang out together up in the mountains. They sort of... If you find a desk sitting in the middle of nowhere, somewhere you shouldn't find a desk, there's the technology ban now, but you used to just plug in a computer to that, and then you could talk to them via text message, or talk to them via a messaging that way, but I'm not sure how they're going to go about that now. I would still try to find one of those desks, or you could ask the Gangrel.
We just have to go up. Okay. Alright. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, was there anything else you needed?
No, to be honest, I didn't really want to disturb you, but, none of us knew where to start looking.
No, that's fair enough. I do have work to do. I have a few of the other Primogens coming around today, so... Yeah. Well, you met yours now, so, you know what he looks like.
Speaking of Primogens, I was thinking of following up on the lead for, my missing Primogen. What
Yes.
information do we have on that?
All we know is he disappeared a couple of weeks ago. And after that, the Gangrel sort of went a little more into hiding. They stopped coming down to the sea as much. Obviously, they picked a new Primogen pretty quickly, and they sent them to the Elysium, but they didn't really talk much when we were in Elysium. I mean, your clan's not much of talkers anyway, but they were particularly quiet.
Gathered that.
I think that if we do find the Nosferatu, might be worth asking them if they know anything. And,
I mean, it's
Since
good.
we have Tremere,
who have been studying the trees, maybe there's a way they can tell who they used to be. We didn't ask, so.
I guess we're going for a trapping trip.
And he goes, if you're going up to the mountain, I recommend,
How far up into the mountains do we have to go, Alex? Is this a day thing or a...
Yeah, it will be a day trip. You're going to have to be doing some serious hiking off the beaten path.
Alright, we'll do that tomorrow then.
Yeah, I would also recommend,
Leave the
if you
croaker
can,
night.
take some silver with you. You never know when you're going to run into one of the lupines up there, so...
Ah. Good to know. You got any lying around that we can borrow? I don't exactly own much.
He sort of
do you happen to have
he sort of
silver
goes around and he
plates?
comes around and he just like he hands you like each some silver rings, and he's like, it's not much. I'm not even sure if it's that useful, but that's all I really have. I generally make a habit of trying to avoid loopholes as much as I can. I know there's some well-to-do kindred who make a living out of hunting them, but well, one's the gangrel and the other one's one of the Samitsi, but I would also recommend avoiding them.
Oh, good thing I'm a gangrel then.
Well,
I'm gonna head off and I'm gonna start writing up a note to put on my owl.
I'm thinking we should try to find more silver stuff. Or can we just go to a pawn shop and like see if they have a silver dagger or something that we might be able to afford?
I guess you could
Out
look.
of character, my instinct is that that it would be very difficult to find something like that.
Yeah.
Finding a silver dagger is exceptionally difficult. The best you'd find is silverware from like a cutlery set.
Yeah. And then
Good
just
enough.
melting it down or something.
And then just sharpen it. And the time that we have,
Yeah.
just take it to a whetstone and be done with it.
Yeah.
So is that so are you gonna look for more silver? Just buy a bunch of silverware or what?
Sorry, I just wanted to make a note of the Primogen's name.
Okay, so his name was Albert.
It was Albert, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Albert Bombador. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, and he's a son of Discord, and he's the primogen of the other.
Yep.
Bombador, like that.
Son of Discord.
Son
Sounds like
of
No, Albert.
Discord. That says odd Discord. Son of Discord. Primogen of the other. That's not how you spell primogen, but you get that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright, so.
Oh my gosh.
What's on my gosh?
Oh no, it's just I can't explain it. Like, just keep going. It's just something funny. That's coincidence. It's just a funny coincidence.
What's the funny coincidence? You can't just go for all that.
Can't really explain it without ruining some things.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
like in-game things or like the plotline for Final Fantasy things.
I
Yeah.
think that, I feel like this is one of those like we'll get to the punchline when we get to the punchline things.
Yeah.
Either way, for my character, I'm gonna give Starbucks, tie a note to its leg, and tell it to go fly into the mountains and try and find the gangrel.
Yep. All right.
Because I'm trying to remember how we even find the gangrel.
Does it? That's
Yeah.
right.
And I'll just like look around for silverware if I don't find a dagger I can afford.
All right.
But I'm gonna send a message if I can to Lucy, the gangrel that we met at Elysium,
Yes.
and just say, I'm looking to come up and hunt some bear. Where should I find you? Like question mark kind of thing. Signed my name, and I'll just tie it to. I'll tie it to Starbucks.
Yep.
With,
All right.
like, a small pencil to reply with. And hopefully Starbucks can find them. I'll just tell Starbucks, if you can't find them, just come back. And then I want to go have a chat with our new friend Janister.
Okay. Good. I was wondering when someone was going to do that. If not, I was going to jump to you next. So, what were you doing, Janista, while all that was going on?
Probably reading a book.
Okay, so based on any information that I gathered from our meeting, is there anything that I could be researching that they could have told me just, in passing or whatever, that could help out in the whole situation? For example, that magic circle that was used with the trees, I believe.
Yep. Yeah. You could.
You have that information.
You have that
what-
information. Obviously, you could. Obviously, I assume you've been studying it and so on. To you, it's sort of just give me an occult plus intelligence roll. See how much sense you can make out of it.
Occult plus intelligence.
I think that you also know from conversation that the pirate list, the Sombra that you guys fought, we had fought as well as we
You'd
had
encountered.
been opposing at some point. So
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned that old pirate mate that we encountered, but we've
Yeah.
pretty much been holed up in the library since we got there, just trying to get a way out so that we could talk back to the home base, as it were.
Yeah.
But now that you've come along and all the information we thought we knew was wrong, I want to start researching everything I can into the new information.
Yep. And obviously the library here doesn't have it doesn't have fantastic information as to the state of kindred in the city, given the fact that's not something that a mortal library would ever have. And obviously most of your books were destroyed. You only have like a few low-level rituals that were saved. All your higher tier stuff is sleeping with fishy, so to speak. And yeah, so there's only really one way to learn, and that's to get out there. But I'll get onto your role. You know pretty much for certain now that this wasn't actually, it's not blood sorcery as you know it. It's more like sorcery that used kindred vitae. You know that whoever's doing it, it's a combination of an oblivion ceremony using some blood, which then a mortal mage or sorcerer then they did the actual ritual itself.
Sorry, so it's kindred sorcery.
It was a kindred, so an
sorry,
oblivion
okay.
ceremony was
Sorry,
used.
can you repeat that?
So an oblivion ceremony was used, and kindred vitae was used as a reagent by a human sorcerer. Because you basically figure out that no kindred would ever use. Yeah. You pretty much figure out that no kindred would use that sort of. The symbols they used and so on is just all wrong. And the way it was sort of burnt up, it just isn't how it normally works for you. So you figure out that some mortal actually did the actual ritual itself. Alright.
Sweet days. So I guess I'd get out there and I would start doing some
Boots on the ground
research, some on the ground research. I'll be taking Persland with me because I can't fight, and I'm sure he's better.
By the way, speaking of that, I found out that for firefighting, it's actually composure, not dexterity.
Firefighting, yeah, because you're a kindred, you'd go nuts at the sight of fire.
Yeah, you're more like, yeah, or,
It'd be
no,
frenzy,
firefighting is in like in a gunfight.
Ah, yeah. I get what you mean. Yeah, but
I was like,
oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah, I was like looking at the combat stuff. I'm like,
yeah. I did remember reading something about that.
So you push your firearms. I'm like,
And it's like resolves for
I've
like
never had it in my
sniping.
photos.
Yeah, like resolve is used for like sniping, and dexterity is basically just used for like quick draws. Or if you're like, it's a one-way fight, so you're just shooting at somebody who's not shooting back. Because it's maybe like a potion for like keeping your cool under fire. Sniping's resolve for like sitting for a long period of time just to make the right shot, and so on. Yeah.
I was like reading through it, it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll get back
It's
to
kinda nice. So even though you don't have like high, you can still have good firearms.
Anyway, so we'll get back to our new player, Peter. What are you doing with you and your goal? What's your first point of call?
So I would probably go to the black market of some kind to see who would come here to buy or where they could get kindred VtM to be used in a ceremony like this.
Ooh, okay. Okay, give me a streetwise plus wits, I would say. Or resolve. I'm gonna say resolve.
Yeah, that's good.
because
That's a higher. Yeah, this is like a high. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's very hard. Very
Surprise plus
difficult.
resolve.
Yeah.
You don't have any luck at all. You're just
No,
walking
that's
around. You manage to find some like low-tier drug dealers,
That
and you find a thin blood who's selling ash, but beyond that, you can't find anybody who sells actual active VtM that could be used like this.
okay. Then I guess my next
Quickly, do you want to give me an occult plus wits?
my next path I would say
Quickly, give me a occult plus wits.
plus wits.
Right, as you're walking down, you talk to the thin blood selling ash, and you have an epiphany. You realise that you remember something about Dill saying that ash can be used to relive the experiences of the kindred of which the ash came from. You know that it's basically distilled vampire ash, and that you have an epiphany that the tree branches come from a kindred. So you figure that you may be able to create ash out of it, and have a thin blood find out who the remains belong to, who was turned into the tree.
Ah. I just had an epiphany. Personally, what storyteller just said. So I would go back and I would grab I would say 2 or 3 of my samples of the tree, and I would take it back to the thin blood that was selling ash, and I would tell them of my plan and promise to pay them to go through with what we're doing.
You don't even need to go that far. You know that Dill has been studying making ash.
Oh, sweet! I'll take it to him then.
Yeah. So yeah, you basically approach Dill with your idea, and he sort of looks at you and goes, "Fuck! Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, I'll try. It's not the same thing exactly. I probably need some tweaking, but yeah, I could try that. It's definitely an idea."
Well, we've got all these samples. You can take as much of these samples as you need in order to get it right. But we do need to get it right.
Yes, of course. Shit. I'm hoping our samples aren't mixed up, are they? Because it would be useful,
No,
obviously.
of course not. I've kept them very neat and tidy and
Oh, good.
organised.
So we know where each sample came from. I recommend we try to get some more of as many samples as we can, because obviously if I break it down and it doesn't work, we won't be able to find out who it was originally, if we run out, so to speak.
Good idea. Person, can you go out and try and get as many samples of this tree as you can possibly find?
Yes. Yeah, we'll do. And he sort of quickly ducks out and runs off. And obviously you know that the rest of the coterie and Alex were very interested in studying, knowing what the hell was happening with the tree, so you have an idea that maybe you should go and see them about this.
Yeah, I was gonna go and find Alex because I have no way of contacting the other guys.
Yeah.
And saying that though, I've only interacted with him in the parking lot as well, so I don't know if I can talk to him either.
I'm just going to say that he gave you the location of...
That's actually a good point.
Yeah, I'll say he gave you the location where to find him, just in case you need it, because he obviously is the sheriff, so...
Okay, fantastic. I go... Yeah, okay, so I go and I see him and I inform him of this plan.
Yeah. So yeah, you go up and you knock on the door, and he sort of looks at you and he goes, "Oh, yes, sorry, I forgot your name. Come in. Take a seat.
Sinister.
Yes, yes, take a seat. Well, you just missed the rest of them. They all left off. They're going to try and find some people. You also missed who will be your new fusion, which is lucky for you as well. You probably don't want to meet them for as long as possible. I was hoping to spare Celine that fate, but I seem to fail there. But yeah, sit down.
Well, I guess the luck has turned around that I arrived here.
Indeed. I have
Right, so
the La Sombra fusion coming around soon, so best make this quick. Sorry.
no worries. We had the idea that we could take samples from the tree and turn it into ash. And
The
then
drug.
we will be able to use that and relive the memories of the kindred that... Yes. And we will be able to relive the memories of the kindred that the trees were made from.
He sort of looks
We
at you and
had
goes,
some tweaking to the general...
yeah, he sort of looks at you and he goes, I didn't even think of that. I guess that's the benefit of having a Tremere on hand. I can see why you guys quickly rose to prominence within the Camarilla when you first came on the scene. Yeah, well, obviously I'm going to approve you going through with it. As for the rest of the coterie, I'll put you in contact with them. Obviously, I want you guys to work together, so they know where your haven is, so I guess I'll give you where their haven is as well, and go and talk to them and tell them of your plan. I'm sure they will appreciate it.
No worries, I'll just go and I'll wait for them there, shall I?
Yes. Alright, so he gives you the address. You literally just go down the road, turn right, and then you just go to the end of that road, and you're like, oh, look, there's a old warehouse. That's the place, and then you go in. And how do you approach the place?
I would go up and I would knock politely.
Okay, yeah, you go up to the warehouse. You see like a sort of side door, and there's like a garage. You can see like a light creeping through from underneath the garage. You just knock on the door, and a larger man answers it. He has sort of a sandy blonde hair. You haven't seen him before, and he looks at you. And as you look at him, he has almost pitch black eyes, and he looks at you and he just goes, can I help you?
Hi, yes, Alex sent me down here to meet up with Eldon, Salim, and Sandy. To discuss a plan for what we can do moving forward.
Yes, you're the, what did he call it? The Tremere, was it?
Yes.
Yes,
alright. The Tremere. Janista is my name.
Janista. Yeah, I'm Matthew. And he sort of signals you, and he goes over and he like grabs like a fold out chair, and he sort of like just puts it down like right next to the door almost. The layout is pretty much empty. There's a large warehouse in the middle of it, running down lengthwise. There is support pillars holding up the roof. Along the edge, there's pretty much on the opposite side of the room, there's a staircase that comes up to a catwalk, which goes over pretty much the entire perimeter of the warehouse, with a large, what looks to be a staff room or office, sort of up on like a second floor, which you would have to go up on the catwalk to access. But on the ground, there's sort of a loading bay, and then above the loading bay, there's a sort of a TV's been set up, a couch, and there's just a few other like chairs around a table, and so on. And yeah, you see Matthew goes down and he sort of sits in a chair, so he's sort of looking at you, and the TV's like on one side, and then sitting on the couch, you see a young woman who's Aubrey, and she's just watching TV. And yeah, none of the party are here yet.
Find a seat.
Oh, he literally gave you a seat and he put it like by the door.
So yes, I guess I'll sit down and I'll pull out a book and I'll start reading.
Yep.
Just waiting patiently.
Alright.
I love the idea that like the secret Tremere power that no one talks about is just the ability to hold like 10 books on your person at any one time.
I have a handy dandy satchel.
The very first spell they learned. The satchel spell.
Yeah. The first ritual you learn, don't you know?
Alright, yeah, and so how long after Janessa arrives until you until you guys all come back, because obviously you're going to do all your silverware shopping, sending off the owl and all that.
I'll probably be back first because I was just sending off the owl a message, not going shopping.
Yeah, so I'll say it's been like
Plus,
Yeah,
I'd probably
I-
go back to get a pen from the house.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably come back with Eldon, actually.
Yeah, so you come back, you open your front door and you see Janessa sitting there reading a book.
Excellent. What's the kindred
I
I'm
am
looking
being tested.
Oh.
Oh, good, you're back. Is Sandy with you?
for? He's out shopping.
Oh, okay. Basically, if you're wondering, Alex gave me your address.
I am
I
being
explained it.
tested.
We came up with a plan of how we can get a clue about these trees.
Excellent. I had the same topic in mind for conversation. Go on. I'm gonna like go sit down on the couch, or like just sit down there and on the nearest available seat.
So after studying the magical circle that you guys so graciously provided me, I realized that it wasn't blood sorcery as we would use it. It seems that it was created through an oblivion ceremony with kindred vitae used, and the symbols used on it was nothing that we would use. It must have been done by a human sorcerer.
Oh boy. I don't know much about mages. I was just told to avoid them.
Oh, we're not. Well, the good ones like me aren't that bad.
Oh, human mages. I was told to
yes.
avoid them.
Oh yes, definitely.
Don't worry, I know about the Tremere's history. I was told to avoid you as well, but I'll make an exception.
Anyway,
I'm standing there with an expression like I do not want to be making an exception.
Anyway,
you were stiff. Do you want to go get a drink or something?
Yes.
There should be blood in the court.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
tell what you
I-
just there. You go do what you need to do.
Yeah. Just backing out as awkwardly as possible.
I like the fact as well. I just want to point this out that you're this like tight snakeskin leather jacket wearing dude, like
Yep.
twink, who
Yep.
cannot hold a conversation. Consistently.
Yeah.
I would have imagined the moment you said drink, Salim's eye would have went bloodshot like massive. Go like,
Twitch.
Really, because the imagery that I got was just him like, going to a bar, sitting at the bar, and it taking him that long to realize, oh wait, I can't do this anymore. Shit.
Oh, Peter, do you know what happens? Like, we physically can't digest any normal food, only blood.
yes, I'm aware.
It can't even act that. Unless you're like humanity 9 and 10.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
Also
Wait.
there's also the advantage.
Technically, Salim could do this.
I was gonna say, yeah, Salim could go to
I
a
just
bar and have
found
a
it
drink.
funny.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like, what, it turns rancid on you or something.
Yeah. Ugh.
Anywho, so, what's the plan, Janista?
We realized that we could take the samples of the trees that we've got and turn it into ash. And by taking that ash, we should be able to relive the memories of the kindred that the tree was made from. So we might be able to use that as a clue to whoever this human sorcerer is and what's all behind this.
That's a more promising lead than I had. Excellent. I was just gonna go ask the Gangle if we knew where our Primogen was. Alright.
You can do that too. What
Oh.
leads?
We'll be following all leads possible. Do you have both samples of both trees?
Yes. And we're getting more samples of the trees as we speak.
How long will this take?
As long as it takes.
Yeah. You have no idea. I'll take this moment Sandy walks in. You saw Salim walking down the road, and you're just like walking up the other side of the road. So you'll pass each other.
I like shake my bag of like whatever. It's,
Yeah, you got
Jingle,
some
jingle, jingle.
silverware.
5 finger discount. Went shopping at the local mansion.
Yeah. So you see Salim. Are you gonna approach Salim, or are you just gonna keep on going?
Like, what's currently Celine doing? Like, is
Salim's
Celine
walking away from the haven. I'm assuming at quite a brisk pace. Would that be fair to assume?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, there's a fair assumption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I'm just gonna wave and like shake my back.
I'm gonna assume I notice him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would stop and wave back. Yeah, he'd probably hesitate for a bit and then just go over. What did you get?
Silverware. Wait, what did I get?
Yeah, you got some silverware.
Wait,
How did you get it? Did you
Okay.
how did you want to have acquired it? Did you want to actually go to like an antique store and buy it? Did you as Anthony suggested?
Yeah, like I'm going around like pawn shops.
Yep.
No. Yeah, just go around pawn shops looking for. Basically, first I'd look for a silver knife or something, but then if they're too expensive, I'll be just normal silverware it is.
Yeah, you find some damaged antique silverware relatively cheap, and you get some like cheap, poor quality like silver jewelry as well, and it costs you like all around like just like a couple $100, and you're pretty sure you could probably make something out of it.
Would you be showing it? Are you showing it off?
That's why I'm jiggling it.
Yeah.
Because it's
So-
to show that I have presents for everyone. One for
I'm gonna
back.
I'm gonna reach into the bag and just pull out one of the sort of bent forks
Yeah.
and just look at it and be like, yeah, they're really gonna fear us.
What? Yeah, it's. Well, it's that or nothing really. So I'm just happy we got some stuff.
That's true. Something is usually better than nothing.
Yep.
You're going back to the haven, I guess.
And where are you heading?
Out. Maybe I'll find somewhere to eat.
Yes.
Different
I
areas.
look at the fork and it's yes, eat.
Yeah.
Just pass it like a cutlery set, like a knife, fork, and a spoon. Like enjoy.
Yeah.
This helps.
The Tremere, Janister, she's there. Alex told her where our haven is. I just need some air.
Oh, yes. Oh. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice of Alex. Now we don't have to look for her.
That's a very positive attitude you have there.
Always gotta be positive.
I hope that worked for you. Yeah, I will put the bent fork sort of gently back on the pile of stuff, and I'll be back later tonight, probably.
Alright.
I'm not. I'll be back tomorrow night. Don't worry about it. I have another place to stay.
Okay.
I'm going to the pub, or maybe sometime.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you just pair off to the night. We'll come back to you. And Sandy returns to the haven. Are you two still standing by the door, or have you moved to the table?
I guess we're chatting at the table now.
If I was invited to the table, that's where I'd be sitting.
Yep. Yeah, and you've noticed that Matt's sort of keeping his distance. Like he goes, like as you guys start approaching the table, he like sort of moves off and he's like starts making something to eat, and he like takes it over to him and Aubrey, and he hands her a bowl of food, and he sits on the couch too. sort of like, yeah, just sort of obviously, very obviously sort of keeping their distance from you guys.
That's fair.
By the way, I just gotta say this metagame, like,
Yeah.
metagame kind of reminder, like, because she said that, what's her name is collecting more tree samples, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So I would assume that's somewhere close to the bar with the werewolves.
Yes.
Well, she also didn't say that she was the one getting the samples.
No.
No, it's her friend,
Her goal is.
family goal was doing it. But it's still getting close to the bar with the werewolves.
Indeed.
Alright, okay, let's just go back to the thing then. 'Cause I would have freaked out.
No, fair enough. Alright, so yeah, obviously we'll get back to the thing, and so yeah, I do walk over to the table with the other two, what's the thing there? Aldon and Janista.
Yep.
Yep, and I'm assuming you just go over your...
Ready? And I'll dump. Yep,
Alright.
my haul of silverware.
Fair enough. And I'm assuming...
Alright, so what have
I'm assuming
So what have you
Janista
guys been talking about?
I'd be confused as to why he has a bag of dingly metal, but I would question it.
The first unspoken rule of Masquerade: don't question.
First,
I mean,
first of all, the masquerade. It just leave it alone.
yeah, no, I mean, do you actually ask? Do you actually ask why he?
Nope, I just
No,
no.
okay.
I just assumed that. I mean, I only met these people a couple of days ago. I just assumed this is part of the daily routine. I'm not going to question what they do. I'm here to deliver information, and then, if they don't want me here, I understand I am a commander. If they don't want me here, I'll leave.
Yep. All right. Well, next to that, and I guess you go over your Ash plan with them all again. One more time.
I do.
You do. All right. So yep, you go over that again. And then I'm guessing. How do you guys take the plan?
Like, when she explains the plan about how it's been human, wizards or witches.
Yeah.
Like it's human witches or wizards or whatever have been doing it. I pop up and say, could they be related to the flower people?
100% there it is. You know that science for Lilliput use over and over again, so that's something Celine picked up. So yeah, I'll say that. Janista also picked up on that. Yeah, very clearly Bahari.
Yeah, so she's aware of the witch clan that was.
Yes. Also Lilith.
Yes. Okay. So, yep. All right. So she's aware of that. That's good. That's nice.
Yep. And we'll jump because we'll wrap up the night soon, and we'll jump over to Celine. So, where is your private haven? What is your private haven? Do you want to just quickly describe it? As you take your walk there.
Oh, okay. So, Celine's private haven is a rented basement.
Yep.
That is generously completely unfit for human habitation. Like, it has electricity, the heating doesn't work, the plumbing doesn't work. It allegedly has a kitchen, but like everything useful from it has been just stripped away, and there's just like the holes in the walls where like the plumbing pipes should be and like the gas lines should be.
Yeah, somebody's taken all the copper piping and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, no, House Dudley.
Yeah. And it has a laptop, a bunch of books, a wardrobe, with some clothes and yeah, like a futon. And that's where he lives. I think that if there was time, he'd get changed and he would go out to one of the local gay bars. Probably partly to look for like someone he could potentially feed on. But well, would there be time for him to do that, do you think?
There would be. Yeah, there's. I'd say there's about. You get back and there'd be about. How far from? Whereabouts in the city is your haven? Is it like on the outskirts? Is it close to the main haven? Is it in the city centre?
Well, how? Let's put it this way. It would be in the area where it would be like absolutely cheapest to live, and the kind of place that you might expect.
Okay, you're basically.
People who were maybe.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I'll
let you finish your sentence.
I was gonna say that if there's anywhere that in the city that would like stream sort of people who are staying here without like visas and papers and stuff, it would be there.
Okay, you're basically in like a suit. It's like halfway between a ghetto, halfway between like an industrial area. So it's got like tons of like factories, automotive repair places, like a variety of like warehouses, dispatching places, so on. And then like occasionally there will be like a apartment block. Obviously, where workers would come in for some of the more seasonal jobs and so on. And I'll say that you found one of those and you're just living in a basement from them that the hotel people rent out to you dirt cheap because it's technically not legal for them to rent it out, but if you pay cash, they don't put anything on the docket.
Yeah.
The whole place is meant to be torn down because it's filled with asbestos. It's a fire hazard, all that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly his speed. Yeah. Okay. So, would there be time for him to go out?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Quickly, as you're going out,
he's gonna go out to one of the local gay bars.
Yeah. Quickly, do you want to give me a? I'm trying to think of what would be the best role. It would be a wits plus either streetwise or politics. Whichever one you prefer.
I'm gonna go with streetwise if that's okay, because I actually have dots in that. I can never roll for shit. Okay.
No, you seem to have quite bad luck.
One success.
Yeah, you sort of you have a sort of a nagging feeling that there's something. It's like you have that feeling that you need to remember something, but you don't remember what it is you need to remember. So you just have that nagging feeling like shit. What is it I've forgotten? But you don't actually remember. You just know you've forgotten something. And it's kind of important, but you're also like, it can't be important if I forgot it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you go to a gay bar, and do you want to give me do you want a role play or do just a hunting roll?
I want to do a roll. I want to do it just do a roll, but I do first just want to say that although he is looking for somewhere to feed, he's gonna spend like a decent bit of this. Like if the camera is on him, like going into this place, like his demeanor changes and he looks a lot more relaxed and a lot more confident, and he spends a decent portion of the time basically just bitching to a couple of the guys he knows there about how he's been crashing with some dudes and they seem nice. He's been crashing in their house share, but one of them has just started bringing his girlfriend back, and it's just terrible. This is basically like him translating the emotions and stuff of what has been going on in the vampire society to a sort of
in a mundane
human,
manner.
understandable scenario, and just Yeah, I'm just like venting about it.
Yeah. So these people, obviously, you're
and
so you're
yeah.
acquaintances with them, but they don't. You're not like. Would you say you're friends with them, or just
Mm.
acquaintances? You just know them, type thing. I assume that would be more
random
safe.
people in the bar probably just know. I mean, I don't think he'd be. Yeah, I don't think he'd be going specifically to people. I don't think he'd have time to track down people he particularly knew right now. So yeah.
You sort of like got friendly with some people and just started complaining to them, type thing.
Yeah.
All right. Do that and give me your hunting roll. Whatever that is, I don't know what it is. What consensus?
I have to remember what I roll for it. Yeah. It is. Well, I know it is persuasion. I'm just going to double check what it is because I don't want to roll the wrong
I
thing.
can do that.
It is manipulation plus persuasion, and I get an extra dice.
Yep.
Because of my persuasion.
Specialty. Yep.
Specialty.
Alright, no problem.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, okay, very good.
Spicy.
Alright, cool. It's not like a thing. Yeah, nice. Okay, yeah, you're just chatting up some guy, and as you're talking to him, you manage to convince him to try out some kinky stuff involving blood. He seems pretty nonchalant, willing to try out anything. He's like, yeah, sure, why not? And you leave without any hassle.
Okay.
Oh, consent.
Yeah.
As you're leaving, that feeling of you've forgotten something, it starts to ease off a bit. The whole time you're in there, you had a feeling that you should be really remembering something, but you forget what it was. So you're like, oh well, everything went well, so it doesn't matter. And you go to feed, you reduce your hunger down to 1. And do you still have any damage?
It's fine. This is totally what we come back and fight me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you have any health to still heal?
Let me check. No, actually, I'm alright.
You're all good. Awesome.
Matthew really helped me out in that front.
Yes. All good. So yeah, we'll jump to the next day. Everybody give me their rouse check to wake up. Did you go home? I already forgot your character's name. Peter's character. Janessa. Yeah, that's it. Janessa. Did you go back to your main haven, or are you just going to spend the night there? Like, did you guys just talk over your plan and start boring everybody to death with your words, or?
Set off with gun.
I'll set to roll heal, so I'm doing a 3.
Oh yeah.
Sam, I have to heal.
Right.
Heal. Fine. Ooh.
Yeah, that's fine.
3. Okay, so we can 2.
So you got 3. Eldon's also on 3. No, you're on.
And that's my last aggro.
Okay, cool. And everyone else is fine. No, Sam also got a hunger back. You lost 1 and gained another.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it
I've
goes.
already cracked it. Don't worry.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you feed a bit. You felt good at the moment, but then you wake up in the morning and you're like, it's back. That little gnawing feeling in the back of your mind sort of come back.
Yeah.
Your nature annoys you once again.
Yes. Yeah. He'd start off by just going back to the Coteries Haven to just meet up with the rest of them.
Yeah. Anyway, Janessa, did you stay at the Haven or did you go back to your one? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, my jack got a bit twisty.
Yeah.
No, I went back to my haven. I understand that I know that they don't trust me that much, so I don't want to push that.
Yeah. Alright, no problem. And I'm assuming are you gonna meet back up with them in the morning? Oh, well, that evening, I guess I should say.
Yes.
Yeah. Dill's still working on synthesizing a new form of ash. And then obviously Persilin is he's returned with some more samples. And he's pretty much he's like starting to remove like the root system and so on. So he's come back with like a fair bit now. So it's like filling up one of your storage rooms, your sort of commandeers.
Awesome. So there's like I leave them to keep going, and I head off to meet up with the others.
Yep. All right.
Assuming that was discussed before, that would be okay.
I'm just going to assume it, and I'm going to say yes because I'm sick of not having everybody there. Splitting the party constantly is kind of annoying.
Fair enough.
Right, sweet. So top party arrives, I'll say that Salim's probably a little closer, so Salim arrives before Janista, but it's only a couple minutes before. Alright. And Starbucks
It is.
comes back and has a note on it around his foot, and he's sort of like hopping around you.
Again.
And all it says is come
Yep.
outside.
Oh, what was I say? I'll take it off and read it.
Yeah, all the note says is come outside.
Oh boy. I walk outside.
Yeah, you get punched in the gut.
Hey Lucy, how's it going?
Good fuck, how you
I
doing?
immediately punch her back.
Alright, so it is. And she goes, oh, that was a good one. Good one. Alright, is the rest of your little gang all ready to go up to the mountains?
Yeah, we're getting ready for a trek.
Alright,
Hold on
yeah.
a second. There we go. We want. Oh, one of us wants to find the Nosferatu, I think it was.
You want to see the ugly fucks? Which one's
Might
that?
have help on that one, I'm hoping.
Oh, yeah, that's easy enough.
I'll point to Slame. This one.
Yeah. And then she sort of looks at you
I
all.
want to hunt a bear, but I also want to look into. Sorry.
Like, that's an unspoken assumption that it's okay because it's me and not Eldon. Oh, sorry, go on.
Yep, I can continue, Aldon.
I was just gonna say so. Well, that wants to speak with the Nosferatu, we'll contact them. I'm keen to hunt a bear, but we're also looking at any potential leads on missing Primogen. You won't happen to know anything about that, would you?
No, if we knew something, we'd have probably done something about it, and we wouldn't have elected a new Primogen.
Excellent. Well, let's go for a trek. Let's go hunt a bear.
Oh, right, we'll do. Yeah, she sort of opens up like the back of her car. It's sort of a, it's like a shitty, ran down like late '80s car. It's got like some surface rust you can see on it. Paint's filling out, like
It's
starting
a
to fill
Jeep.
up. It's shit, yep. And your Sandy's curse is going to be in full effect again as you are repulsed by this ugly vehicle.
I know, it's a Jeep. I know, I could feel it.
It's a
Yeah.
Jeep. Cause and effect, it's a Jeep.
she just like opens up the doors and just like it's like go on, get the fuck in type thing. She like signals with her thumb.
I'm carrying my thing with me, my plastic full of wares.
Yeah. She can sort of hear the
cutlery.
she can sort of hear the jingle of it, and she sort of like looks at it quizzically, but she like just sort of shrugs, gets in the front, and she just tells Aldon. She looks at you and goes, "You called shotgun, by the way," and just signals for you to get next to her. And are you taking?
I get in, smiling and wave, boys.
Are you
Smile,
taking?
boys.
Are you taking Aubrey with you? Or Matt? Or Matthew, sorry.
Would there be room? Because I assume that Janesta's coming with us.
Yes. This is kind of
Yeah,
Since she's
I
there.
think we're limited for room,
yeah. You're left
so
around.
we'll leave them for now.
Fair enough. So yeah, the three of you
I'm
get in the
sure,
back seats.
considering the circumstances, Matt's doing his own thing.
He's generally
Matt's doing his own thing. And this is very much just a on the side thing for us.
Yep. All right. Sweet
Yep.
as.
So from the way that I see it, we're kind of waiting to see when we get back on this ash for the Thin Blood from Janista's contact.
Yep.
Family member, whoever it was,
Alright.
I forgot.
So now we're on a hunting trip as a side thing.
Yep. You're on an
Side
undertrip.
quest.
Side quest time. Yep. So you start driving. Well,
Fill the request.
Lucy starts driving up the road, and she's just saying she doesn't really say anything. But like as she's starting to leave the city, she just goes, "Oh yeah, reach behind your seats there and pull over that duffel bag."
Do we all get a duffel bag?
There's just
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
There's one very big duffel bag. And she tells you to look inside
If
it.
she wants it, fine.
Yeah, she just tells you to open it.
Okay.
And she goes, each grab one of the sawn-offs in there. The elephant gun's mine. And you open up and there's big heavy caliber weaponry in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, Yeah, and each shot, like, there's some shotgun shells,
Yeah.
which are all silver slugs. So, like, they're all slug shells, so obviously just one big thing, and it's just a big lump of silver in it. So you realise, when she said bear hunting, she probably meant something a little more dangerous than just standard bear.
Werewolf hunting. Not understandable. Let's go add a freaking silver shotgun to my equipment list.
Fuck yeah.
Sawn off.
Yeah, they're sawn off, so there'll be like a
Type, range, damage value.
there'll be +4.
+4.
+4.
Spicy.
Although they'll be a very short range.
shotguns
They're sawn off shotguns, so they obviously they're not very good for sniping or anything, but they do pack a hell of a punch.
And just a quick question.
Yes.
Are we going to finish up soon, or are we going to go through the hunt entirely?
Oh, we won't go through the hunt entirely, no. We'll finish up shortly, pretty much now actually.
Okay.
So, because it's getting pretty late for us, so. And yeah, if anybody is actually watching and you enjoyed it, remember to go through the normal ritual that everyone also tells you to do it in all these videos, but it never happens anyway, so yeah, see ya. Alright, and obviously, yes, you know, you add an extra XP. Alright. So,
Like, XP.
yes, you don't have to see the gangles. Alright. Right, well,
I didn't actually talk to. Wait, there was that one gangrel that was like the pretty girl. What was her name?
that wasn't the gangle, that was Belle, she was the
I think that's
sweet chick.
Lucia. That's who we're with.
Yeah, you're with